Hi guys, if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Blake. This is my husband, John. And if you guys are not new here, hi, hello, love you, missed you. So glad to have you guys back. Today, we're gonna be doing a little cooking and answering your questions that you asked me over on my Instagram about just like general European travel questions, because we just got back from our Italian wedding and then a month-long honeymoon in Europe. And so we definitely have some experience. I've been to Europe, I think like 3 summers
Here's the
in
list.
a row.
Here's the list.
Oh,
We've been
okay.
to Costa Rica, Mexico, London, Nice, Paris, Saint-Tropez, Rome, Switzerland, Naples, Amalfi Coast, Puglia Coast, Croatia, Portugal, Mallorca, Ibiza, Barcelona, Belize, Cayman Islands, Mexico, Canada, Bahamas, and Hawaii. Some of those are by ourselves, but most of them were together. So we just feel like people have really good questions.
The only one that is not on there is I've been to Bali twice, but this is just I said specifically European just because I feel like a lot of people are going to Europe during the summer, so it would make it easier. But
you guys had like really good questions. The questions just always pop up every time we travel, so we just figured making this might
there's
help
a lot
some
of
people
questions.
travel.
Yeah.
And we've definitely come up with some troubles in our travel and have learned from them. And if somebody would have just told us, it would have been 10 times easier.
Facts.
It should have been awesome.
Yeah. And I don't know what we're making for dinner, but John does, because John makes all of our meals.
Salad.
Okay, we have a salad here.
Some marinated swordfish and some oven roasted broccoli, maybe.
John's really been into some. This is not on the floor. I haven't budgeted it, but John's been. I shouldn't have done. Really into asparagus lately. And although I like asparagus, I just like literally cannot stand the way it makes your pee smell. John like doesn't mind the smell of it, and I'm like, it like makes me like gag when I go pee after it. I'm like, ugh, no.
I thought she was embarrassed, but she just literally doesn't.
No, I'm just like, ugh, like it smells like
asparagus.
No, it doesn't. No, because asparagus like smells fine. Like it literally smells like garbage to me.
Okay.
Like sour garbage, and I'm like,
garbage panda. Dude, there's like 20-ish questions.
Hopefully we can get through them.
But by the end of it, we'll have a nice meal and we'll have answered some questions.
Facts.
And I did write them down with just like a couple things I didn't want to forget, because there are some like really key things that we've learned that are pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, I had a few other questions that I didn't get to tell you because they were from this morning. But I'm just going to start off. The
swordfish is really easy. We actually get it at Trader Joe's. It looks like this. It comes frozen. It's pretty cheap. These two are $9 and they would feed both of us. So it comes frozen. You just thaw it in room temperature water, or let it thaw in the fridge. And then you just literally cook it exactly how you would cook a steak. So I'm kind of making a steak sauce. I'm using A1 Worcestershire sauce, some garlic, and some Grey Poupon, because Blake likes mustardy flavors. And that's just going to be what we'll put on it after. And otherwise, it's just like a little bit of salt and pepper, and I'm going to cook it in the pan because I don't want to go to the grill.
What's the best way to not lose your luggage? We have never lost our luggage, thank God, but we have traveled with people that have lost their luggage, know people that have lost their luggage, all the things.
Especially when you're in Europe, there's all these little planes that you're switching, and there's only like an hour in between. And so it's pretty common. One person from our wedding guests lost all their luggage. Delaney and Clayton lost all their luggage going to Como one time ago. So it's pretty common in Europe to lose your luggage. And Kelsey lost her luggage?
Yep, she did. Definitely just get air tags. You can get them on Amazon. Get like a pack of 4. We have one in each bag, and I don't put them in my carry-on because my carry-on's always like with me, but you can do that as well. We also upgraded our luggage to Calpack, and they have the TSA Approved Locks on them, which is another just added security. It's not really going into like how to not lose your bag, but just overall security. That is really good. And then just get like a luggage tag as well, because we also got silver luggage, because even though we kind of knew that it was going to scratch a little bit more than the black, the silver is just so much more iconic, I think, but also you can just like recognize it so quickly and just grab it.
But also AirTags, like what you do is you take the AirTag and I just tape it, I unzip the part of the bag that is attached to the actual plastic of the bag. And then I put, I tape the AirTag into the bag itself, or you can attach it inside like your dog kit or something. But the point of an AirTag isn't that it's not going to get lost. It's that when it does get lost, you know exactly where it is. So you'll be like, oh man, my bag, where is it? Like I traveled to Germany and then Switzerland, and is it in the Switzerland airport? Is it Germany airport? Do I have to go back to the Switzerland airport? And instead you just be like, okay, it's sitting in Germany at gate 3, da 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 da. And you could tell them exactly where it is. So it just helps you locate it.
Yep.
Instead of you just wondering where it is and when you should go pick it up.
Yep. Best airport hacks. All right, so something that we've been doing recently is when we go somewhere, and we extended on our honeymoon. We were supposed to leave from Amsterdam, but then we were like, let's go to London. So we had to leave from London, but it was so expensive. It was like $1,500 for a one-way ticket. We were like, that just doesn't seem right. So we plugged in a round trip and it was like $600. So for some reason, they like to bump up the one-way tickets price. I'm really not sure why, but if you are experiencing that on a really expensive one-way ticket, just check the round trip. Just make sure that it's the second, or just make sure that it's the, wait, is it the first or the second? I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
Oh, you want to be on the first leg.
Right, so just make sure that it's the first leg and not the second leg that you're gonna be on, because if you don't make the first leg, sometimes they cancel the second leg of your trip. So that's it.
But that's happened like multiple times.
Yeah.
Yes, with multiple different trips.
Yeah.
You'd think it was like a rarity, but it's very common. It's weird. So if somebody knows why, put it in the comments below.
So typically, flights are gonna be more expensive on the weekend because that's when people are traveling. But a little airport hack is, if you can travel on the weekend, do so, because that means that a travel day is gonna be like on a Saturday or Sunday, when most of the places that you're going to be going, those are the most crowded days because people have off from work and everything like that. So we try to travel on the weekend, even though it is a little bit more expensive. It's just less crowded in the areas that we're gonna want to go.
Yeah, and all the touristy areas, like you don't want it to be too crowded.
Because when we went to Polignano a Mare, we couldn't even walk, and because it was a Sunday and there was a fair and a carnival or something like that.
Which brings us to our next point. Look ahead at the locations you're going to. This has happened to us a lot. Europe takes holidays fucking seriously. They really take the day off.
Yeah.
So if you're doing any shopping, any going out, any restaurants, and you want to actually enjoy that part of it versus the actual festival or whatever's going on, look at the holidays.
Yeah.
Do not plan your trip during the holidays because everything will be closed.
When we went to Switzerland, we went to Lucerne, and it was a Swiss holiday, and everything was closed. We could not even find Delaney underwear. We literally had to get her underwear at the supermarket. Like, there was not a single place that was open. And pretty much the entire time that we were there, like, the only things that we could do were like walk around and not even like go into shops or anything like that. The only thing that was open was like restaurants. So, I mean, it was fine, but ideally it would have been better if things were open and we could like peruse, you know? And then when we went to Polignano a Mare, there was like a festival happening because there was like a holiday. And it's just happened a few other times too. So before we go on another vacation, we're just gonna check to see if there are any, holidays or things going on. We also have global entry / TSA Precheck. I forget which one, but
global entry, if you apply for global entry and get it, it comes with TSA Precheck. They come together.
Okay.
And it's not that much more expensive, but global entry is harder to get because they have to do a full background check and it takes a lot longer.
And you have to like be at the airport, right?
And then you have to go either in person to an interview, or anytime after it's been provisionally approved, anytime you come back from a European country or any country other than the US, when you come back, you can do your interview when you come back. And then from then on, the global entry line is one person versus we probably skipped
50 people.
An hour line
Yeah.
last time coming back in, and all they do is they're like, hey John, hey Blake,
Yeah.
go step right through.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Because it runs this huge background check and does all this stuff on you before.
Also, another airport thing is check for upgrades at the airport when you check in, because they can have cheaper upgrades than.
Like if you're economy class, check for business or first class when you get to the gate. Like literally when you're checking your bag, be like, hey, do you have any upgrades? Because we got an upgrade that was like $1,000 and it should have been $8,000.
It was, yeah.
So
we got an
they
Emirates
happen.
first
We
class.
do that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes
it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times it does, and it's
Yeah.
way cheaper.
Sometimes it's just like getting more legroom or like just like the priority one with just like a bigger seat or whatever. It's not business class, but you know.
But if you've never done it, just check.
Yeah.
Might be worth it.
Yeah. Best way to pay in Europe for items, they use Apple Pay like on your phone, like Apple Wallet for everything. So if you have your credit card in your phone, you literally just tap for everything. Amsterdam is a literal like paperless city. It's a plastic city. You have to have your card or pay on your phone. So we like recently in the last like year or two, we haven't really been bringing that much cash. We brought a little bit just because we had to pay our Italian wedding vendors. But other than that, we really don't use cash anymore. Like sometimes we have to pay the cabs in cash, but pretty much, I mean.
Also, Europe has very easy ATMs. You can always get money from an ATM. And then you can always get money right when you get off the plane at the airport. They always have those currency exchangers, which have very low currency rate. And then in London specifically, they have tons of currency exchange. You literally they're like on the corner, and you just bring them your coins or whatever. I brought them my euros or whatever that we had left over. Boom, exchange right there. No fee, nothing. Cabs take the cashless pay, and it's safer for them because you can't say that they like charge you and stuff. So it's safer for you too, because all you can do is they say like, oh, do you have cash? And they'll charge you more. Versus no, like run your meter, because that happened to us in Amsterdam.
It did.
So do not pay with cash if you don't have to. Always say you don't have cash, because that means they have to run their meter and they have to do it through a transaction. Otherwise, they'll scam you. So
it
happened to us.
Yeah, it did. You want to tell them what you're doing here or no? Best travel gadgets. We have multi-plug European outlet adapter. We got it on Amazon. We will link them below. And it doesn't matter if you're going to like the UK or like any other places in the European countries. It works great. It has little like it has USB, but not US.
It has USB, USB. It also allows for you to plug in a curling iron, which is something to think about if you're buying it and you're going with somebody who's going to use that. And then also ours, you can travel to any European Union country because it has just little like adapter plug-in tips.
Yep.
So it's not just one and then you have to buy a new one for that. It's like just little tips that plug in.
Yep.
So it's super useful, and it also has like a over voltage that saves it if it's gonna. Because Blake's brother blew out the fuse of the Grand Tremezzo, the nicest hotel in Lake Como, blew out the entire floor.
The floor.
Like destroyed the floor's electrical.
Destroyed. Also, a question that I got was, what do you do about a Dyson? You heard that they don't work there. They don't work there. Don't bring it. It's going to be wasted space and weight in your luggage. There's literally no way around it, unfortunately.
They don't work.
It's very sad.
That I bought?
No. Under eye masks.
Blake uses these every day, so I put it on the list.
I love under eye masks. This one is a set of 30. You just put them in the fridge, the mini fridge, and I use these probably, I wouldn't say every day, but probably every other day I use these, and they're just so nice and cooling, and I love these.
Use them on the plane.
I use them on the plane, like I use them everywhere, and they're just great because usually on vacation, you're not getting that much sleep sometimes, you're puffy, you're eating a lot of gelato, things. Another thing for puffiness, I always bring an ice roller. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like literally steam, not steam, but like what is this called?
Frost.
Frost like coming off of this thing. I think I had a dream that they were making this in a mini version because I mean this is pretty massive, but this is something that I will not travel without. It's just so nice to just like roll your face out in the morning. This is from the Skinny Confidential. I will link that as well. What other gadgets? I'm trying to think.
But also, if you have a smaller roller, tell Blake below so she can get it because that thing's pretty big.
Yeah. A steamer. We have a little steamer that we like to travel with, so we will link that below. And then a handheld bag scale. That's something that we were definitely missing this time around, and we needed to get one. Did we buy one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, you just put your bag on it and you just hold it up, and it tells you the weight of it.
Yep.
Because we were always guessing, or I was standing on a scale and having to hold the bag, which is really dumb. But also, the reason I said steamer is because they do not have irons in Europe.
You can't use them.
You have to go to this like little special janky room if you want to use them. I think it's just a fire hazard and too many people have caught fire to things.
You
so
literally
they
have to go to a separate
do not have irons anywhere. And so that was like a struggle, and like luckily Blake's parents brought a steamer because I had to use it on my suits and tuxes for the wedding and things like that. But then after that I was like, all right, I always have to bring
how to plan a good itinerary. I don't plan more than 2 like activities in one day. You're gonna be tired. It takes a long time to travel from place to place. Yeah. Sometimes there's traffic, like you're not gonna wanna get up. Like there's just like different factors. And if you plan more than 2, I think that you're gonna just...
We used to try to plan more than 2.
Yeah.
And we'd either get into a fight or somebody would be exhausted and hungry. And so, I mean, I think this last time we went to Europe, we did it a lot better.
Yeah.
Where we just tried to do one thing.
1 to 2 max.
One thing, and then one day we did 3 and it was too much.
Yep. Activities by searching travel YouTubes. So...
Yeah, we have them.
Yeah, we do have them.
Well, that's what we do.
Yeah,
so
that's what we do.
That's how we found all the stuff in Switzerland. You know?
And then also, I mean, TikTok is like shorter form content now, so TikTok would probably be good as well. Use the hotel concierge to get dinner reservations. A lot of times at these like super popular places, they're gonna say that they are completely full, blah, blah, blah.
Fully booked. They're always fully booked.
But 2 things for that. A, use the concierge because usually they have like a reputation with some of the restaurants around. Also, another really good tip is to, I mean, if you're only 2 people, if you're traveling with like a group of 6, this might not work, but if you're in a group of 2, just go right when it opens. You might have to go at like 6:30, but I mean, that's usually what time Americans eat dinner anyway. Yeah.
Specific, I would make reservations at places
try.
that you're looking to go to because anywhere that you're going is probably going to be kind of touristy.
Especially Paris. I feel like we had a really hard time.
So the places I would probably make a reservation for are definitely Lake Como. They literally book out like a month in advance for dinners. And then Paris, Rome, anywhere like that where it's a specific experience you want to have just to ensure that you get it. Do not expect it to even be empty. Do not expect yourself to get a reservation even a week out. Think like a month.
Yeah.
Because Europe only has a certain season for travel. And everybody travels that time, and they all want to go to that cute restaurant that you saw on TikTok. Yeah. So just book it a month in advance. Really, like, get yourself just the dinners, and then you'd be good. Yeah.
Okay. How many suitcases did we bring for Europe? Ours is a little bit different because we did go for the wedding, but if you were not talking about the wedding, we each bring a full-size bag, like checked luggage. And then typically I will bring a carry-on, and then John will bring like a duffel. And that usually is completely fine for 3 weeks. I only bring minis for my skincare and stuff like that so that I can bring it with me through TSA. Because again, if my luggage is lost, I don't want all of my skincare to be lost. I don't travel with my makeup though because my makeup is too big and like I just don't have minis for all of those things. But just go to Target and or Amazon and get like the travel thingies and then put all of your skincare in there, label it, and then you're good to go.
Now correct me if you think I'm wrong, but the most strict place for that toiletry stuff is London.
Yeah, it is.
They, like, people, every single time we go there, they're like rummaging through people's shit.
If you have a chapstick and it's not in a plastic bag, you're getting searched. It's crazy.
It's gotta be a see-through bag.
Okay, one city in Europe, what would it be and why? And then another, like, kind of wraps into that. A lot of people ask, like, most overrated city and underrated city that you've been to. And
What's your one city?
I really love Amsterdam. I love it so much. It just felt like it didn't feel like overcrowded or anything like that, even though it is a big city. It felt like really homey, and it felt like wholesome with everyone like riding their bikes, and like a lot of like kids were around, and it was never crowded. Yeah, like you couldn't get into restaurants sometimes, but like I'm just talking about like walking on the streets. Like it was just so charming, and the food was really good, and I just really loved it. There's like parks and nature and like museums, and I just loved Amsterdam, and we really want to go back already because it was just a vibe. What about you?
Okay, I would say I liked Amsterdam too, but my number one would be Nice. I thought Nice was awesome. It has a new town, an old town. It has the prettiest beaches you've ever seen. It has sand grotto beaches. It has rock beaches. It has modern, it has old school, any vibe you want, and it's all really walkable.
Yeah.
And it's just so pretty. Everybody there was really nice. You can get a scooter. It's just it's so close to different things. Like it's a stone's throw away from Saint-Tropez, Monaco.
I also agree with that.
Cannes, like it's just so central, and like I really liked. I wouldn't go back to a lot of places, and I would definitely go back.
What kind of shoes do you bring for Europe? 3 to 4 max. I would bring a pair of sandals that you can like kind of wear on the beach, maybe a little like waterproof guy. Havanas are really good. They're comfy. They go with everything. I would bring a really good pair of sneakers, cute for like dresses and stuff. I love my Sambas. Also, New Balances are really good as well. They go with everything. I put one pair of heels. One. Do not go crazy, guys. You're not going to wear them, I promise. If they have a chunkier heel, you might wear them a little bit more than a stiletto. I don't know. And then maybe like a dressier pair of sandals, like a cuter pair, not like a Havaiana pair. Those are my
If you're a guy, I would bring a trainer. So a trainer, if you are gonna work out, or if you like wearing those when you walk around, maybe a Converse or a Reebok or a Vans or something like that. One nicer shoe, be it a loafer or a lace up, an Oxford, something like that. And then maybe a sandal, if you're going somewhere where you think you're gonna need that. A Birkenstock, a sandal, just something like that. I wore those like woven leather shoes and like Italian-esque, and they worked really well. So
I
4 max for guys too.
Wedding looks, how to not wrinkle during travel.
Bring a steamer.
Bring a steamer, and also a suit bag will really help. I mean, we went like 5 days before our wedding, so like anything that was gonna wrinkle, it kind of like came out a little bit. You can also use the shower.
Yeah,
as
I use the shower a lot. I close the door and I use the shower as a steamer. But also, if you want to spend money, the hotels will steam your stuff. But literally, it was like $100 to steam something. Hand steam it. And to wash something was like €5.
A piece.
Each thing.
Yeah.
And so don't expect to do your laundry there unless you're going to a laundromat.
Or unless like you have an Airbnb that
has one in it.
Sure. Top 3 cities that are not Amsterdam or Paris. I mean, we like London.
London, Amsterdam, south of France.
That are not Amsterdam.
Oh.
South of France.
Yeah, London, south of France.
I
really liked Rome. I thought Rome was awesome.
Yeah, John really liked Rome.
Minus the tourist areas like Colosseum and everywhere. I did not like those at all because there were too many people trying to sell you stuff and like putting jewelry on you and stuff. But we stayed in Trastevere, which was like super cute. So I really liked
good food in Trastevere as well. Obviously Lake Como, but here's the thing, it's so like I almost feel bad recommending Lake Como because it is so hard to get around there. Like it is just, it's not easy to get around, and it's fucking expensive to get around.
It's 20 to 50 euros to travel 2 miles at Lake Como. It's really hard to get a cab. So the best thing for Lake Como, and the only thing I would say that's worth it, is rent a Vespa.
Rent a Vespa, just get it.
Rent a Vespa and do it.
The best thing that we've ever done.
If you can't ride a Vespa or you don't know how to ride a Vespa, it's going to be real hard.
Yeah.
Really hard. Yeah. Even though like, the ferries are easy.
The girls had a really hard time getting around.
They had to like trek in the back.
The ferries are hard too.
They had to trek in the back hills of a thing.
It was bad. On that note, do you need a international license?
So you
Yes
do
and no.
need an international license if you get a bigger Vespa, which sometimes they only have. But if you get a smaller one, like a 50cc, you shouldn't need one. But even if you need to get an international driver's license, you literally just go online, you pay a fee, I think it's $40 or $50, and you just, it sends you it in an email in like 2 hours. So
Yep.
you'll have it, and it's good for a year.
Nervous about pickpocketers? I wasn't really nervous about them, but just keep your bags close to you and keep them zipped, and I mean, don't be stupid. Like, don't have your phone in your back pocket or your wallet in your back pocket.
And also, like, when you go and sit down at a restaurant, if you're in one of those front ones, don't put your phone on the
Yep.
table. Because somebody will come by and be like, do you want to buy this?
Yep.
And your phone will be gone.
Yeah. But just be, I mean, it's just like in New York City. Like, you wouldn't be like walking with like your purse open, you know?
Yeah.
What length of time would you give in each place when you're going to Europe?
5 days.
5 days.
4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm. It depends on if it's like a smaller place, then
Yeah.
maybe like 4 days. But you have to think
Didn't
like
you say like Florence is like 3 days is good?
yeah, but like that's also 3 full days. Like the day before and the day that you leave don't really count
Yes,
in my book. So like 3 to 5, 6. You know, if there's like a hub, then you can take a train to different places, maybe a week, because you can always like be in that like one hub and then, you know, go to different places. Overrated places, cities, countries.
Positano.
Ooh,
I just think
Positano.
I think when we went, it was okay, but now with how many tourists go, I wouldn't go anymore.
Yeah.
I just think it's not worth it.
Yeah, Amalfi was pretty though. But it's
Amalfi
like,
is
do you
pretty.
go to Amalfi without seeing Positano since they're right there?
Maybe
It's like,
if you went in the off season, go to Capri, stay on Capri, take a ferry to Positano, or stay in Amalfi, the town,
Mm-hmm.
take a ferry to Positano. But again, our friend just went there and he said 100 euros to get back from Positano to Amalfi. It's 3 miles.
oh my! I really liked Croatia. I forgot what the question was, but I really liked Croatia. But
What was the place that you didn't like though? What was the one where the people were
no,
really
so
rude?
I really liked Croatia because it was so stunning and like it was so beautiful and there was so much to do. But the people were so mean there. Like literally every single person that we talked to was so mean, and it wasn't even because we were American, because we were with Australian people, and we were with one person that was I think that she was French. It was a French girl and an Australian guy, and they were mean to them too. Like it was so weird. Like literally, we were at a national park and we were getting ice creams, like at a little ice cream stand, and it was dripping on us, and we were like, "Excuse me, can we have a napkin?" And she literally grabbed the napkin from behind her and goes, "Ugh." And like rolled her eyes and like threw them at us, and we were like, okay. And then another time we were at a restaurant and the Australian guy was like, oh, do you have any like beers? And the guy took the menu from in front of him and goes, can you read? This says beer. And like slammed the menu down and like walked away, and we were like,
And then weren't you guys sitting somewhere that was closed and they made you?
no, literally, we were sitting. Okay, we were having another gelato, just enjoying. Like it was like a little square, and
It's like a town center.
like a little town center, and we were just like sitting there. And yes, we were sitting on chairs, but like, and not just on like a little stoop or something, but we were sitting on chairs. Didn't say that we couldn't sit there or anything. And some guy would like literally came and like shooed us like we were fucking birds. Like it was so weird. He was like, I'm gonna call the cops on you if you don't get out of these seats. And we were like, I don't know why we're being like that. But I mean, it just really put a little bit of a damper on it, because like we really liked Croatia, but like we couldn't wait to get out of there, and it was the end of our trip too. So it was just like, I don't know. Another common question was, do you feel nervous with your engagement ring and wedding bands? Personally, I typically don't travel with my engagement ring. We leave it with John's mom, but we obviously had to this time around because we were getting married, and I didn't feel nervous with it.
You usually have sleeves, number one.
Yeah.
And then number two, you can always flip it inside.
Whenever I'm walking, I always like flip it.
And also
on the
if you're
inside.
like-
or a lot of Italians, English speaking as well. Yeah, we really didn't find that it was super hard to communicate with anybody when we were traveling. Amsterdam is really American friendly as well.
English friendly.
Oh, English friendly, sorry. Amsterdam is super English friendly, would you recommend the hotel that you stayed in Amsterdam or go to a different location?
Oh,
We loved the Hoxton. We loved the location of it. The only weird thing is that like the shower like literally made the entire bathroom wet. Like no joke, like it made even like the room wet. That's how far like the shower like sprayed out. There was no like glass or like shower curtain or anything. I think that there was something wrong. Like we didn't ask, but like literally the entire thing was wet. You couldn't even like, it was weird, but whatever. It didn't really matter. We didn't care.
I would say.
What did you wear the most or repeat the most? Maxi dresses, maxi skirts, little just tank tops. I wish that I brought more just like plain tank tops to pair with things, linen pants. And I also didn't really bring like a cardigan sweater. I brought like a over the head sweater, and I feel like I would have liked a cardigan, like one that like either zips or buttons. Yeah. What about you?
Probably just tan things for Italy, Rome, places like that. You want like a lot of
Linen.
tan and linen. And then just because if it's just the vibe, guys look a little bit silly when their girls dresses up for Italy and you're in like a trainers and black outfit or like you're wearing Nike and stuff. Like you just look silly.
Yeah.
So just like
Love like crochet or knit.
Yeah, get like 1 or 2 knit tanks. You can wear them the whole time. A lot of times I'll wear swim trunks as shorts, and then you can just wash them, take a shower, you can wash them in there and they'll dry really fast, so you can do that too. Abercrombie has some really good like European-esque ones that I wear all the time.
A few questions saying, do you need a phone plan to make calls?
Yeah.
We have AT&T, so we just...
So through AT&T, it just auto recognizes that you're in a foreign country. It's $10 a day, unlimited. So it might be worth it to switch to AT&T, but like that's the best thing I've ever heard of.
And I think that's pretty much it. So if you have any other questions, let us know in the comments below. We're gonna put as much as we can in the description box. And as always, you can recommend any videos that you wanna see. We're gonna stay on our YouTube game this second half of the year. And yeah, that's all we got. I'll update you guys maybe in a vlog if the dinner was good.
We're gonna watch our wedding pictures.
Yeah, we are. We just got them back.
Bye.
Bye.